Listen closely, because what I'm about to speak is not an accident. It has found you in this exact moment, in this exact hour, because your soul was calling for it. You have felt the weight of delay. You have tasted the frustration of asking and not receiving. You've wondered why others move forward with ease while you fight invisible walls. But today, that wall begins to crack. Today, the invisible becomes visible. Today, you remember who you really are. Money is not outside you. It is not locked in the vaults of banks or in the hands of the powerful. It is spirit, moving, flowing, responding like breath to the one who dares to command it. And you, yes, you, were born with the authority to command. Not beg, not hope, not chase, command. The universe has always been waiting for your voice, because your voice carries the frequency of creation itself. When you speak, worlds shift. When you declare, the unseen rearranges. When you decide, heaven bends to obey. But here is the truth: no one told you, you have been speaking the wrong commands. You have been declaring lack, rehearsing worry, repeating the language of delay. Every thought of, I can't, every whisper of, I don't have enough, has been a spell. And the universe, faithful servant that it is, has delivered it exactly as you ordered. But now, in this very hour, a new command is given to you. It is simple, yet fierce. It is not weak, it does not beg. It does not come from the small self that doubts. It comes from the greater self, the divine self, the infinite within you. And that command is this: money comes to me now, in unstoppable, unexplainable, miraculous ways. Say it. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with the voice of a ruler reclaiming a throne. Because you are not requesting. You are remembering. You are not asking for scraps. You are summoning rivers. When you speak this, you shift from the posture of a seeker to the authority of a creator. You awaken the truth that was buried beneath layers of doubt. You stir the forces of heaven and earth into motion. Money has ears. Money is alive. It longs to be commanded by the one who knows their power. It rushes, it flows, it rearranges timelines when it hears your decree. And listen, this is not about waiting months or years. Spirit does not delay. Energy does not stall. Creation is instant when belief is whole. That is why I tell you, less than 24 hours. Because when you command from your true self, time collapses. What once seemed impossible becomes natural. What once seemed far away is already here. But understand this: the words are not enough without the fire. You must feel them. You must saturate them with conviction. Not from the mind that doubts, but from the soul that knows. So tonight, when you are alone, speak it aloud. Money comes to me now, in unstoppable, unexplainable, miraculous ways. Say it as if you are carving it into the fabric of reality. Say it until the vibration fills your chest, until your body feels the shift. Say it until the walls around you begin to hum with agreement. And then, let it go. Release the how. Release the when. Because the command has already been issued, the armies of spirit already deployed. Your task is not to chase, but to receive. You are not a beggar at the gates of fortune. You are the key bearer, the gate opener, the one who commands. This is your inheritance. This is your authority. This is why you were guided to these words, in this very moment. And now, the question is not, will it come? The question is, are you ready to receive what is already racing toward you? Because in the next breath, in the next hour, in less than one day, you will witness the proof of your command. And when you do, you will never again doubt who you are and what power has been resting in your voice all along. The power to command wealth is already within you, not to beg, but to decree. This is the revelation that begins to turn everything in your life around. Because for too long you were taught to approach money as though it were a distant master, something to be impressed, something to be chased, something to plead with as if you were unworthy of its presence. You were told to work harder, to strive, to struggle, to wear yourself thin in the endless pursuit of what is already your divine inheritance. But the truth is far simpler and far more radical. Money is not your master. It is your servant, and you are not here to beg from life. You are here to command it. When you breathe, You do not beg the air to enter your lungs. You do not plead for oxygen. You simply inhale, and the universe rushes to supply. The same principle governs wealth. It was never meant to be withheld from you. It was meant to flow through you. Yet so many live as though they must prove their worth, as though they must endure struggle before they can touch abundance. This is the lie that has been woven into the fabric of human belief. That money belongs only to those who labor endlessly, or to those lucky few chosen by fate. But look deeper. Feel into the truth. Your spirit was not born to scrape at the surface of survival. It was born to stand tall in authority, to decree what it requires, and to see the universe conspire in its favor. The word decree carries a different energy than request. To request is to position yourself beneath, to ask as though you are uncertain, to wait for permission. But to decree is to stand in the identity of a ruler, to know that what you speak carries weight, to release words not as wishes but as commands. The prophets of old understood this. They spoke not with doubt but with fire. They declared, and nature bowed, storms ceased, waters parted. The same creative force that stirred in their words is stirring in yours now, waiting for you to wield it with conviction. When you decree, you bypass the small mind that says, "I hope this works. I hope someone listens." Instead, you stand in the knowing that creation itself bends to your voice. You were made in the likeness of the Creator, and what does a creator do? A creator speaks, and reality reshapes. You cannot escape this truth. Every word that leaves your mouth is already a decree, whether of abundance or of lack. Each time you say, "I can't afford that," you are not merely describing reality, you are commanding reality to remain that way. Each sigh of, "there's never enough," is a spell, and the universe is only obeying what you already ordered. But now comes the shift, the awakening, the turning of the tide. To command wealth is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are not trying to steal from the universe, you are summoning what is already yours. The gold in the earth, the rivers that flow, the infinite supply. All of it exists because creation is abundant beyond measure. Do you really believe a universe that produces billions of stars would struggle to provide for you? Do you think the same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies would find your request for financial overflow difficult? The only barrier has been the posture of your heart and the language of your tongue. Command is born from identity. You cannot command as a beggar, but you can command as a king, as a queen, as one who remembers their divine placement. It is a shift so subtle, yet so profound. One moment you are whispering timid hopes, the next you are declaring unstoppable realities. It is not the world outside you that needs to change first, it is the authority inside you. Wealth does not come to those who plead. Wealth comes to those who know. Know who they are. Know what they carry. Know that they are not separate from abundance, but an extension of it. When you command, you awaken the sleeping forces within. Doubt begins to tremble, fear loses its grip, and your energy field expands with magnetic certainty. People begin to notice something different about you, though they cannot explain it. Opportunities appear in ways the logical mind could not have planned. Unexpected channels open, sudden alignments occur. Why? Because command is magnetic. It sends a clear signal to the unseen that you are ready, that you are standing in your rightful authority, and the universe rushes to fill the decree with substance. You must understand, wealth is not something you earn in the way the world taught you. Wealth is something you align with. And alignment comes through command. Not through anxious striving. Not through endless waiting, but through the decision to stand, to speak, to claim. The moment you decree, "I live in abundance. I am supplied. Money obeys my voice." You shift your vibration from scarcity to authority. The external must bend to match the internal. The invisible must reveal itself in tangible form. To command is to unlock the flow that was dammed by fear. To command is to give permission for wealth to rush toward you unblocked, unhindered by the old stories that kept you small. It is the turning of the key in the lock of your destiny, the ignition of power that was never lost, only forgotten. And when you live in this state, wealth no longer feels like a stranger you must chase. It feels like a loyal servant, running to answer the sound of your voice, eager to fulfill the command of the one who remembers who they are. Every word you speak is a spell that summons either abundance or lack. The vibration of your voice is not casual, it is not wasted, it is not empty sound. It is a signal, a decree, a living frequency that shapes the unseen and sculpts the visible. You have been speaking your future without realizing it. Every complaint, every declaration of worry, every whisper of doubt has been planting seeds in the soil of reality. And the harvest you see around you is not accidental. It is the echo of what you have spoken again and again. Think of the tongue as a wand. Each syllable is energy, each word is power, each sentence is a command that creation hears and rushes to obey. When you say, "I can't afford this," the universe does not argue. It nods, it agrees, it confirms, and circumstances arise to prove you right. When you say, "Money never stays with me," money itself obeys the order, slipping from your hands, vanishing as quickly as it arrives. When you mutter, "Nothing ever works out," life bends to fulfill the spell. And when you, even in passing, declare, "I am always provided for," provision begins to arrange itself at your doorstep, unseen doors begin to swing open, unexpected help appears. The great mystery is that your words are not small. They carry the very blueprint of creation. The book of life itself opens to them. You may believe you are simply venting, simply joking, simply speaking carelessly. But the unseen does not know the difference. It only hears the vibration. It only hears the command. It only hears your choice of abundance or lack, faith or fear, overflow or emptiness. This is why the ancients guarded their words. They understood that language was sacred, not to be squandered, not to be wasted on idle chatter that cursed their own destiny. They knew that to speak is to shape, to prophesy, to call forth substance out of the invisible. You are no different. The same power rests in your mouth. The same creative fire sits on your tongue. When you begin to watch your words, you begin to see your patterns. You begin to notice how often you curse your own harvest. You begin to hear yourself speaking limitations as though they were facts. "It's always hard for me. I never get a break. I can't do this." Do you realize these are not descriptions, they are incantations? You are not telling the world what is. You are commanding the world what to become. And it has faithfully obeyed. The moment you change your words, you change your world. Speak differently, and life shifts differently. It may feel strange at first, as if you are lying, as if you are forcing something false. But that is only because you have been rehearsing lack for so long that abundance feels foreign on your tongue. Keep speaking it. Keep declaring it. The vibration will begin to settle into your bones. The energy will begin to align with your identity, and soon, the external will mirror the new sound you have released. Do not underestimate the subtlety of this practice. A single phrase, repeated in faith, can overturn years of struggle. A single command, spoken with authority, can break the cycle of generations. Words are not light. They are weight. They are matter. They hang in the atmosphere and call things into form. This is why you must guard your mouth, for it is the gate of destiny. What passes through it either chains you or liberates you. Begin to listen to yourself. Catch the curses disguised as casual speech. Transform them into declarations of abundance. Replace, "I can't afford this," with "Everything I need flows to me with ease." Replace, "Money always slips away," with "Money comes to me and multiplies in my hands." Replace, "It never works out," with "The universe conspires for my good." This is not blind positivity. This is commanding the energy to bend toward abundance instead of lack. Every time you speak, you set creation into motion. Your voice carries a signature frequency that no one else on earth has. When you say, "I am wealthy," heaven and earth respond uniquely to you, because you are the vessel through which that declaration becomes flesh. When you whisper, "I am provided for," invisible forces align in ways your mind cannot predict. When you proclaim, "Money is my servant, not my master," You step out of the posture of fear and into the posture of sovereignty. Understand this: you do not get what you want, you get what you speak. Desire alone is weak without the vibration of words. Thoughts create ripples, but words ignite thunder. The spoken word has always been the gateway to manifestation, because it carries breath, and breath is spirit. When you speak, spirit moves. When you declare, spirit obeys. And when you repeat, spirit establishes. This is why you must fall in love with the sound of your own abundance. Practice speaking wealth as naturally as you once spoke struggle. Let your words drip with certainty, with faith, with unshakable knowing. Let your mouth become the fountain of gold that pours abundance into every corner of your life. Because every sentence you form is a key. Every phrase you declare is a door. Every word you utter is either summoning wealth into your hands or commanding it to stay away. Money is energy, alive, responsive, waiting for your authority. It is not a cold piece of paper, not a lifeless number written in an account, not a silent coin pressed from metal. That is only its costume, the outer garment it wears so that your physical eyes can recognize it. In truth, money is spirit in motion, an energy that listens, that feels, that responds to the one who dares to treat it not as a distant object, but as a living ally. You have been taught to see money as hard, as limited, as difficult, as something you must work for and chase. That belief creates separation, as though money is an external force you must capture. But what if you began to treat money as you would treat a trusted friend, a loyal companion who wants to serve, who longs to flow toward you, who is listening to the way you speak about it? You would speak with respect. You would invite it. You would call it close instead of pushing it away with fear, resentment, or guilt. Every time you say, "I don't have enough," money hears rejection. Every time you fear its absence, money feels unwelcome. Every time you envy another for their abundance, money feels your resistance to having it yourself. This is why it slips through the fingers of those who see it as a tyrant, a monster, or a source of pain. Energy flows where it is celebrated, not where it is cursed. Look at nature and you will see this truth. Water flows where the channel is open. Light enters where the window is clear. Sound travels where there is space to receive it. Energy is always searching for the path of least resistance, and money is no different. If you are closed in doubt, tight with fear, blocked with resentment, the channel narrows and the flow weakens. But when you open, when you align, when you create space through gratitude and authority, money floods in as naturally as the tide rushing back to shore. It is alive, it feels your vibration. It is not random in its arrival. It follows the pull of your energy, like iron filings follow a magnet. If your energy is scattered, doubtful, desperate, it cannot find a clear signal. But when your energy is steady, clear, and commanding, it rushes to meet you, eager to serve its purpose, which is circulation, growth, expansion, freedom. Consider how you treat money when it comes into your life. Do you fear it will leave? Do you spend it with guilt? Do you hold it with tight fists, terrified of losing it? That vibration suffocates the flow. Imagine if you treated a friend like that, clutching them, doubting them, constantly worrying they would abandon you. They would feel trapped, untrusted, unvalued. But when you honor money, when you circulate it with joy, when you release it with confidence that more will return, you step into the rhythm of infinite exchange. Money is energy. It cannot die. It only moves, and when you let it move freely, it always comes back multiplied. This is why gratitude is magnetic. Gratitude tells money, "You are welcome here. You are safe with me. You are honored in my life." And money responds, drawing more of itself into your hands. When you bless every bill you hold, when you give thanks for every coin, when you smile at every deposit, you amplify the signal that calls for more. You no longer vibrate with fear of loss. You vibrate with celebration of gain, and energy always expands where it is celebrated. But more than gratitude, there is authority. Because money is not only listening for your appreciation, it is waiting for your command. It is energy with intelligence, energy with ears, energy with responsiveness. You are not meant to bow before it. It is meant to bow before you. You are not here to chase it down corridors of struggle. It is here to obey your decree. Speak to it as you would to a servant. Call it by name. Tell it where to go, how to multiply, how to remain. Say, money, you are my ally. You serve my purpose. You come to me now and increase in my hands. When you speak with this authority, you align with the natural order. For energy was never designed to dominate you. You are the one with the consciousness, the breath, the divine spark that directs energy into form. Money is simply one of the many servants that rush to obey the consciousness that knows its place. Those who do not know, those who fear, those who see themselves as less than money, are ruled by it. They work endlessly, sacrificing their joy, bowing before the numbers. But those who remember that money is energy, alive and waiting for direction, rise above the struggle and command the flow with ease. Money does not discriminate. It does not choose one person over another based on merit, morality, or worthiness. It responds to energy. It follows vibration. It obeys authority. That is why some who never seemed deserving live in riches, and others who work endlessly live in lack. It is not about deserving. It is about alignment with the truth that money is alive, responsive, and always listening for the one who knows how to speak to it. When you shift your relationship with money from fear to friendship, from begging to commanding, from doubt to certainty, everything changes. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop shrinking and start expanding. You stop living as if money is your master and begin living as the master of energy, directing it with clarity, gratitude, and unshakable authority. The command is simple: money comes to me now, in unstoppable, unexplainable, miraculous ways. These words are not just a sentence, they are a decree, a vibration, a portal that opens the flow of abundance. Simplicity is the secret, for the universe does not respond to complication, it responds to clarity. The clearer the command, the faster the response. When you speak this command, you are not asking politely, you are summoning. You are not suggesting, you are declaring. You are not hoping. You are aligning with the law of creation that has always been waiting for you to remember your voice. Notice the structure of the command. The first word, money, direct, unmistakable, unapologetic. You are not afraid to call it by name, for what you call comes. To name a thing is to draw it into recognition, to anchor it in form. By beginning with money, you signal to the universe, to your subconscious, and to the energy of wealth itself, that this is the subject, this is the object of focus, this is what must respond. Then comes to me now. These words collapse distance. They remove the illusion that wealth is far away, that it is locked in tomorrow, that you must wait endlessly. Now is the most powerful word in creation, for creation itself only happens in this moment. The past is memory, the future is vision, but the present is the womb of manifestation. By commanding money to come now, you release it from the prison of later. You call it into being instantly, without delay, without excuse. The next part, unstoppable, unexplainable, miraculous ways. Here you step out of the narrow corridors of logic and open the infinite pathways of spirit. You release the burden of figuring out how it will arrive. You give permission for the impossible, the unexpected, the extraordinary. Unstoppable means no obstacle can prevent it, no circumstance can block it, no resistance can hold it back. Unexplainable means it may defy reason, it may appear from directions you never imagined, it may bypass the systems you thought you had to depend on. Miraculous means it will carry the fragrance of the divine, the signature of grace, the touch of something greater than your own effort. These words free money to appear with ease, to arrive by channels beyond your control, to demonstrate that it has always been energy responding to your authority, not a prize earned by your struggle. The command works because it bypasses doubt. It is short enough for the mind to hold. It is clear enough for the subconscious to accept. It is powerful enough to shift your vibration in the moment you speak it. When repeated, it becomes a new pattern, a new frequency, a new law written into your energy field. You no longer carry the scattered signals of wanting and fearing, asking and doubting. You carry the steady decree of one who knows, and the universe cannot help but reflect it back. But the key is not just to say the words, the key is to embody the energy behind them. You must speak them as a ruler, not as a beggar, with certainty, not with hesitation, with authority, not with apology. When you declare, "Money comes to me now," say it as if you were commanding the sun to rise, as if you were summoning a loyal servant who rushes to obey. Speak until the vibration in your chest convinces you that it is already done. Speak until your body feels the shift. Speak until you no longer question whether it will happen, but wonder how magnificently it will unfold. There is no magic in the words themselves without the power of your intention. But when intention and declaration unite, the words become fire. They burn through doubt. They burn through fear. They burn through limitation. They become a key that unlocks the gates of supply. The unseen begins to rearrange. Ideas are whispered into your mind. People are drawn to you. Situations align. Opportunities open. And the more you repeat the command, the more you train your entire being to live in the frequency of abundance instead of lack. This command also silences the inner voices that once sabotaged you. When fear rises, you cut through it with, "Money comes to me now." When doubt whispers, you respond with, "Money comes to me now." When old beliefs try to drag you back, you interrupt them with, "Money comes to me now." In this way, the command is not just a decree to the universe, it is a reprogramming of yourself. You overwrite the old spell of scarcity with the new spell of abundance. And soon, as the command becomes natural to you, you begin to notice small proofs, subtle shifts, surprising inflows. A gift appears, a forgotten debt is returned, an opportunity arises out of nowhere. And each time it happens, your faith deepens, your authority strengthens, your command sharpens. The words gather momentum, and what began as a declaration becomes a reality that surrounds you. Because money is listening, energy is responding, and creation itself is waiting for the clarity of your decree. Time collapses when belief is whole. 24 hours is more than enough. The ordinary mind has been conditioned to believe that manifestation requires time, that money must arrive through long processes, through endless effort, through months and years of striving. But time is not the master of creation, belief is. Time is a servant of consciousness, a stage upon which the play unfolds, but the script is written by your faith. When your belief is fractured, reality delays, events stumble, opportunities hesitate. But when your belief is complete, when there are no cracks of doubt, no fractures of fear, no hesitations in your vibration, reality rushes in with speed that defies explanation. What could have taken years dissolves into hours. What once felt far becomes immediate, because time bends before the weight of certainty. Think of water finding its level. When the path is blocked with stones and debris, the flow slows, it detours, it struggles. But when the channel is cleared, the current rushes fast and smooth. Your belief is the clearing of the channel, doubt is the debris, fear is the blockage. Uncertainty is the dam that holds back the flood. The moment you clear it, the flow does not trickle. It surges. That is why one moment of whole belief can collapse the waiting of a lifetime. Consider how quickly reality can change. A single phone call alters a career. A single meeting changes a destiny. A single opportunity opens doors that were closed for years. Life itself can shift in one heartbeat, in one breath, in 1 second. Why then do you doubt that money can come to you in less than a day? It is not time that delays the miracle. It is hesitation in your energy. When the hesitation ends, the miracle is instant. The universe does not count hours the way you do. It does not measure in days and months. It measures in vibration. It listens not to your clock, but to your frequency. If your frequency is whole, if your belief is unwavering, the universe delivers without delay, because there is no resistance left to hold it back. The moment you stand in complete alignment, creation cannot withhold itself. The fruit falls from the tree the instant it ripens. It does not wait, so too does wealth appear the moment your belief reaches fullness. This is why the phrase, less than 24 hours, is not exaggeration, but truth. It is not the hours that matter, it is the state you embody. A person can wait 20 years for abundance because their belief is fractured, and another can experience overflow overnight because their belief is whole. One lives in delay, the other lives in collapse. Time folds in on itself when conviction fills every cell of your being. Look at the stories of miracles throughout history. Waters parted in moments, not years. Healing sprang forth instantly, not through decades of waiting. Provision appeared in the desert with no logical source. These events were not bound by time, they were bound by faith. And the same spirit moves in you now. You do not need to stretch your manifestation across years. You do not need to plead with time. You need only to believe so completely that time has no choice but to yield. Your belief is the command that alters the rhythm of reality. When you say, "Money comes to me now," and you feel it with absolute certainty, you collapse the gap between desire and fulfillment. The distance evaporates. The waiting dissolves. You no longer vibrate with wanting, you vibrate with having. And when you vibrate with having, the universe mirrors it instantly. Think of how quickly fear can manifest. You imagine the worst, and your body reacts instantly. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your stomach tightens, all from a thought. If fear can trigger such immediate effects, why do you think faith is any weaker? Faith is stronger, purer, more aligned with the creative current of life itself. One moment of pure faith ignites reality into motion faster than any fear ever could. The idea that manifestation must take time is only a belief, and because you believed it, it became your experience. You said, "This will take years." And years came. You said, "I must wait." And waiting became your reality. But what if you spoke differently? What if you said, "It comes to me now"? What if you said, "I receive in this moment"? What if you removed time from the equation altogether and declared that creation bows to your belief in the present? You would see speed. You would see acceleration. You would see the collapse of hours into seconds, the folding of days into moments. The truth is, manifestation is instant. The only delay is the human hesitation to accept it. The field of abundance has already responded to your command. The answer already exists, waiting to materialize. When you align fully, it appears without resistance, and it appears quickly. That is why 24 hours is more than enough. For one who commands with certainty, 24 hours is an eternity. Reality does not need days. It needs only your unwavering yes, your unbroken decree, your whole belief that money is already rushing to meet you without delay, without obstacle, without resistance. Your role is to command and receive, not chase. For you are the authority, not the beggar. The entire struggle of humanity with money has been built on this false posture, this image of chasing, of running after abundance as though it were a wild animal that must be hunted, captured, subdued. But wealth was never designed to be hunted. Wealth was designed to be summoned. You were never meant to exhaust yourself in pursuit of money as though you were unworthy of it. You were meant to stand, to speak, to command, and to let it flow toward you like water rushing to fill a vessel. Chasing creates distance. The very act of running after money implies that it is always ahead of you, always escaping, always out of reach. You stretch your hand, but the horizon keeps moving. This is the illusion of the beggar, the illusion of the seeker who believes the source of abundance is outside, separate, beyond. But the one who remembers their authority does not chase, they magnetize, they call, they summon. They know that money, like all energy, is obedient to the voice of consciousness. Commanding is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is not forcing, it is allowing. To command is to know your place in the order of creation. You are not here to scrape crumbs from the table of life. You are the table, you are the host, you are the one who sets the feast. Money was created as a servant of purpose, not as a master of souls. The moment you stand in your true identity, you see that the entire design of the universe bends to the authority of consciousness, and your consciousness is the key. Receiving is an art. It requires stillness, trust, openness. A beggar begs because they do not believe they are worthy to receive without struggle. But you are not a beggar. You are a vessel of infinite supply. To receive is to stand with open hands and open heart, knowing that what you have commanded is already rushing toward you. It is not about chasing the river. It is about standing in its path. It is not about running after the wind. It is about lifting your sails. Receiving is not passive, it is powerful. It is the stance of one who knows that the universe delights in giving, and their only task is to allow. The authority within you has always been present. From the moment you were born, you carried the spark of creation, the imprint of the divine image, the echo of the voice that spoke worlds into being. That same voice resides in you, and when you speak with it, life rearranges. To command money is to awaken that voice, to reclaim what was buried under years of conditioning, fear, and smallness. You do not have to earn authority, you only have to remember it. This is why begging never works. Begging is the language of separation, of lack of smallness. It tells the universe, I am not enough, I am not worthy, I do not deserve. And the universe, faithful to every vibration, mirrors it back. But command is the language of remembrance. It says, I am aligned with abundance. I am the channel. I am the authority. And the universe answers with overflow, because the signal is clear. You command not with desperation, but with certainty. You do not shout to convince. You declare because you know. The energy of knowing is different from the energy of hoping. Hoping stretches time. Knowing collapses it. Hoping keeps you outside the gates. Knowing opens them. To command is to stand in knowing, to embody the frequency of already having, already receiving, already living in abundance. And once the command is issued, your only role is to receive. Do not scramble to figure out the how. Do not chase signs of progress. Do not grasp with anxious hands. Simply receive, expect, trust. Let the flow arrive in its own unexplainable, miraculous ways. Money may come through a channel you never considered, through a door you did not even know existed. The mind cannot predict it, but the spirit knows it is certain. That is why chasing fails. It confines you to one path, one possibility, one narrow tunnel. Receiving opens you to infinite avenues, infinite possibilities, infinite miracles. You are the authority. Your words are commands. Your energy is law. Money is not above you. It is beneath you, waiting to serve. The moment you shift from the stance of the beggar to the stance of the commander, from the posture of chasing to the posture of receiving, everything changes. The current reverses. The struggle dissolves. The chase ends. And the flow begins, not because you ran harder, but because you finally stood in the truth of who you are. The one who commands, the one who receives, the one who was never meant to bow before money, but to direct it with the authority of a sovereign soul.